How would this leadership for the African American males at this center differ from the initiative that already exists in the administration?
Well, what this is going to do, one is it's going to provide a focus. So this has been in the Board of Regents strategic plan. We are going to put efforts in here that will come up with policy, advocacy, and really reaching out to school districts, to colleges, and provide information as to how we can attract them. And also lay out those universities, colleges, schools that aren't doing a good job. So it's going to be very policy-driven, research-driven, and focused on students where they are in each urban setting of our state.
But this governor has not always been highly regarded by the city mayors. His administration is not always focused on these things. How important I guess how much did that play a role in your speech and what you make of issues?
Well, actually, it was me. From the time that I started considering joining TED, I really wanted to focus on the urban cities. I think TED has a strong record in supporting the urban cities of this state. What I'm going to do is provide focused leadership, and so I'll be the person who the mayors can call, who community leaders can call, because I do think there's more work that we can do, and I want to be the point person leading that. So it's really me that is asked to lead that agenda. I believe as our city succeeds, so does the rest of the state.
Lieutenant governors have been development director for a long time, several past lieutenant governors. Is that something that you have any interest in? Or?
We have a development director, and so what I want to do is have the fluidity actually to lead this initiative, but also be available to be a partner with TED. TED chose me because I have leadership skills, I have a record of really bringing people together, tackling the tough issues, and so I'd like to have the fluidity to be able to respond where he needs me, but also to really drive an urban agenda that benefits the children in our state.
So you don't anticipate heading any major cabinet level agency?
I do not at this point anticipate doing that.
The proposals that you talked about today didn't have big money attached to them. There's not a lot of money around. Does that frustrate you?
It doesn't, because you know what I've learned is that you don't always need new money. It's really about prioritizing. And so what we laid out today is really looking, for example, the Department of Development and prioritizing where we put our incentives for businesses to make sure that the jobs are where people live and they can get access to them. Or looking at the Leadership Academy, we want to attract outside investment, grants, private dollars, so that that research center can really do good, strong work, not dependent on the state budget. I think what the economy has allowed all of us to do is to really refocus on how we work together, not always with new money, but taking what we have and using it more effectively. I don't believe that we're tweaking programs. What we laid out today was new focus, new priority. And the amazing thing about refocus is if we say, look, we have a lot of suburban sprawl, even in central Ohio where jobs are located on the outer back. If we say that we are going to incentivize businesses that want to be where public transportation is, that's more than just tweaking. That's really putting focus on having jobs where people live.
You specifically took a swing at the Senate Republicans. What about the House Democrats? They went home for the summer too.
They passed House Bill 323.
Is that the only thing that you're waiting for?
That's what I talked about today. I want the foreclosure bill passed so we can start to keep people in their homes, and we need the Senate to act.
Do you feel that the moratorium on foreclosure?
Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry, what?
What message does it send to rural Ohio, the agricultural community? It seems like the ticket now is splitting up, that the governor is going to handle rural Ohio. You're talking primarily cities. What message does that send?
It sends a message that we need our entire state to succeed. And actually, if you look at the Brookings Institute report, it shows that when Ohio's metropolitan areas do well, those regions that surround the metropolitan areas do well as well. So when we lift up cities, we lift up our rural areas. And this governor has a strong track record in supporting Ohio-grown products, expanding broadband access, and funding biofuels. So we are committed to all areas of the state. All I'm talking about is when people have asked me, what are you going to do in the administration? This is my focus. It doesn't mean I ignore the rural areas. It means my cadre of business is focused on urban leadership.
I guess it needs to be asked, do you feel that enough has been done in the first 4 years of this administration? You're talking about areas for improvement, it sounds like.
I do. I think the governor over the last 3.5 years, while he's been leading the state through a really difficult economic time, he's continued investment in public schools. He's kept college tuition rates flat, and then only with moderate increases. Every day he's announcing new jobs that are coming to this state. So yes, I think he's done a great job, but is there more work that we can do? Yes. Do I bring new energy and focus? Absolutely. And I think that's what you look for in your lieutenant governor.
The governor last week ago was traveling the state with the endorsement of the NRA. How do you feel about that?
I think it's no surprise Ted got the endorsement of the NRA. He's had the NRA support through all his years in Congress.
Are you supportive of, are you appreciative of that?
I am supportive of the governor, and I'm happy the governor received that endorsement.
Not the NRA, okay.
That's not what I said. I said I'm supportive of the government, and I'm happy the governor received that endorsement.
Have you got any thoughts on how to address the upcoming budget that's going to have several $1 billion in the hole?
Well, you know, we have people starting to work on this. I think they're meeting next week. And so none of us knows what that budget number is, but I always say the best indicator of future performance is past performance. And when Ted's had to make the tough decisions he has, and we will all roll up our sleeves to tackle what that budget hole is, we'll make cuts, we'll do what is necessary to keep the state moving forward.
But there was a line in your speech that you were proud to stand by the governor's side. Was that removed from the prompter, or did you skip it? Because you didn't say it.
I thought I did.
No.
Oh. Well, then no, I just overlooked it. No, I'm proud to stand by his side.
Just wanted to make sure.
My apologies. No, absolutely I am.
Just back to Reggie's question, do you have a position on the Second Amendment?
I don't know that my position is relevant. I support the governor, and he's the head of the ticket, and the governor has the support of the NRA. I don't really want to say anything other than that.
But guns are a big issue in Ohio cities, are they not?
Of course they are, and there is opportunity for legal gun ownership, and we support lawful individuals having access to lawful weapons.
So you would support the NRA position despite the fact that many of the members of the Black Caucus that you say you want to work with?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. The governor has been supported by the NRA.
Would
yes.
you support Cleveland's right to home rule on that issue?
Did you have a question?
You talked about the one House bill. Do you support some of the provisions in some of the other House bills, including the moratorium on foreclosures? How does that work into what your agenda is when it comes to the foreclosure?
Well, I think what the governor has tried to do is work with banks and work with leaders to make sure that we give people every opportunity to stay in their homes. And so we need to really step back and look at how did people get in this situation, and is there a pathway for them to be able to stay in their homes while they're taking care of their mortgage obligation. That's vitally important. We don't want to have abandoned neighborhoods. And some of these people unknowingly got into these mortgage situations, and we want to work with them to the best extent we can to keep them in their homes. Yes.